Hello, everyone, and I hope your weekend is off to a great start. I don't know about you, but I'm looking forward to the cooler temperatures that are forecast into fall. It's a very exciting time of year at St. Paul's, and we've got a lot that's coming up. One program in particular that's starting in October is near and dear to my heart, and I wanted to give you all a little bit more information about that. On Thursday, October 16th, we are launching our new chorister program at St. Paul's. This is a youth choir program for young singers starting at about age 9, depending on their maturity level and ability, all the way up through high school. This program will meet on Thursdays. They'll rehearse from 3:30 to 6:30. Now, they're not rehearsing straight through 3:30 to 6:30. There's time built in for socialization, homework, practicing for actual music, and then also dinner each week. The way we're starting this program is we're having a monthly dinner with the parish so that the people of the parish can get to know the choristers better, and we have a place to gather. So that first October 16th, we're having a dinner for everyone. Evening prayer is at 5:30 that day, and the choristers will sing just a little bit at that service. And then we have a communal dinner at 6. There are details about that in your bulletin. I do need a few volunteers, though, for the chorister program, and I'm hoping some of you will be willing to help. I'm needing people to serve as what we call a choir mom or a choir dad, and these are people who help the choristers get ready before a service, put on their vestments, make sure they've got their music in place. There's no musical ability needed for this. You also don't have to have a kid in the program or a family member in the program to help. We're looking for anyone who would be willing to take this simple job on. We're also looking for people who would provide meals for the choristers when we're not having our parish meals. So that would be a couple of times a month. I'm looking for someone who would be helpful with recruiting or social media. And then those who would just like to volunteer to help in general. We don't have if you don't have a specific desire for one area, but just would like to help. I also need, most importantly, an adult to join me each week for rehearsal time. And this adult is someone who doesn't have to have musical training, but if you do, that's great. They're an extra adult presence in the room because, when you get a lot of kids, sometimes it gets a little chaotic and we need some help there. So that's the big announcement from me for the music program. We've got a lot of other things coming up in October, though, and I want to just make mention of a few of those things. One is that starting in October, not the 5th, because we have Blessing of the Animals on the 5th, so the service at 10:45 is outside, and the music will be very different for that because it's outside. But starting October 12th, the next Sunday, we'll be having new service music at the 10:45 service. This would be the music that you would sing at the Gloria, the Sanctus, and then the choir will sing a fraction anthem. I've included music recordings for you to listen to in the Friday email. This is so you can get familiar with it before the service happens so that you're not shocked on that morning. I've also included a file so you can look at the sheet music if you're interested in that. This is a congregational setting of this music, so it's just like what we normally do. It's just by a different composer. It's a new living composer. His name is David Bednall. And I discovered this setting while listening to recordings from the American Cathedral in Paris. And for those of you that don't know, the American Cathedral in Paris is an Episcopal cathedral for our convocation of Episcopal churches in Europe. And I was so thrilled when I heard this recording. It just moved me so much. And I explored it with Tammy a bit, and we talked about how we could use it at St. Paul's. And I let the choir hear it, and they all loved it. So I'm hoping you will love it the same. Again, more events happening in October, so be paying attention to your bulletin because there's a lot going on. Some things to draw your attention to, though. One, the Blessing of the Animals, as I said, at 10:45 on October 5th. On Thursday, October 9th, at 7 p.m., we have a deanery meeting here at the church. And this is a pre-convention meeting that kind of tells us what's going to happen at the diocesan convention in November, where we will be electing a new bishop. October 12th, we have choral evensong at our usual 5 o'clock time. Then the next week, on Saturday, October 18th, we have our first St. Paul's fishing tournament. And then later on in the month, if you're interested in helping with Project Christmas Cheer, contact Nancy Ustack. Their training starts on October 22nd. Again, like I said, there's a lot going on. We get to the end of the month, and we've got our Frights and Pipes and the blessing of the costumes on Halloween, and there's lots of candy to give away for that. And then when we head into November, we're suddenly at the bazaar, and who would have thought that we're already almost there? It's like time is flying. Make sure you stay in contact with those of us at the church, reading your bulletins, checking the Friday emails. There's so much going on, and we want to make sure that you stay on top of everything and so that you don't miss out on any of the fun. We hope to see you soon, and enjoy your great weekend. Bye.